Good here. All right, I am set. All right.
So we're here with Jennifer Lawrence, and she's with the America First Project. We're going to talk about foreign policy.
Okay.
Um, Thank you for appearing on Huntington News. And
You're
the Bottom
very
Line.
welcome.
So I think the most important question in foreign policy is when to go to war. And I'd like to know, do you have a principle that permits you to determine when we should go to war and when we should not?
Well, I think it depends on the situation. If we are attacked, we should absolutely go to war. You hit us, we're going to hit you harder. There are some times where sanctions work, but as we've seen with Iran and other places, they don't work, right? And immediately, as soon as Obama gave back the money to Iran that was frozen, terrorism goes up and terrorist attacks happen and things like that. So I think there needs to be a balance. But yeah, there is a point where sanctions and talking and mediation will work. But at a certain point, if there's no mediation left and we get attacked like we did on 9/11 repeatedly, I think there is a time to go to war, and it happens.
So what is the principle? Basically what I'm asking is what conditions are necessary and sufficient to go to war, in your view? You would use that principle to say, in this case I think we should go to war, in this case I think we shouldn't.
Well, I think radical Islamic terrorism is a huge problem. And I think that if we are going to, so ISIS, and I think that we should absolutely go after ISIS as hard as we possibly can, where they're centered, where their caliphate is, because where the power of ISIS is their caliphate. So if you take their caliphate away, they no longer have their power in that area, northern Syria, northern Iraq, and that's where the terrorism hotbed is. So I absolutely think we should go in there and bomb the living crap out of them and get rid of them and take away their caliphate and their power, because they are attacking us on our homeland. And I am afraid to go to malls now or walk down the street that there might be some radical Islamic person going to come shoot up the place or blow it up. Like, I live in America for a reason, and I shouldn't have to deal with these issues in America.
So you're actually worried when you go to the mall that there might be a terrorist attack?
I mean, absolutely. Being
Okay,
from New York, and being there on 9/11, and you're laughing.
The probability is very small. It's more likely that you'll be
But it's
attacked
still
by somebody else.
It's still a probability. And as we've seen, how many times has there been mass shootings by radical Islamic terrorists?
But that's fine, and you've expressed your policy that you would like to bomb ISIS. But that's not what I asked you. I asked you, do you have a principle? Do you have a principle that you can tell us?
I told you.
What is the principle?
The principle is you attack us, you hurt us, you bomb us, you do it. You better believe America's coming after you.
Okay.
We'll be at your doorstep tomorrow morning.
So the principle is if we're attacked or there's an imminent threat of attack, then we go to war. If not, we don't. Is that?
Well, I think you're asking a question that you can't quantify. Right? There's different situations, there's different precedents, there's different things that go on, and you're trying to make a generalized statement, and you can't. 9/11, okay, so you're telling me on 9/11 we shouldn't have gone and bombed the Taliban and places like that?
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to find out what your principle is. Let
Let
me ask you a question.
Quantify something that's not quantifiable.
Oh, so you don't think it's possible to have a principle that tells you what to do in this case or what to do in the other case?
Well, and it is a principle, right? If we are physically attacked, we should absolutely go to war, right? However, in, let's say, the situation with Iran, right? We tried sanctions, we tried mediation, we tried a whole bunch of stuff, right? And they're still acting out. They're chanting death to America in the streets, right? You know what? President Obama, ex-President Obama, was one person, but Donald Trump is another person, and that's what people need to realize, is that they are dealing with a whole new president, a whole new America. And you know what? We need to make America safe again. We need to make America strong again. And you know what? People around the world need to be put on notice that we aren't going to be Obama, we are not going to be pacifists, and that if you mess with us, you're going to get a whole new reaction than you did the past 8 years.
Yeah, I don't think anybody disagrees that if we're attacked by another country or there's an imminent threat of attack by that country, we should go to war. But there's a lot of other principles that include other reasons to go to war, which are not those. For example, if the other country has harbored terrorists that have attacked us, should we go to war?
Well, I think in that case, so you're talking about Pakistan. Pakistan has harbored.
Or Afghanistan.
Well, we've dealt with Afghanistan.
Yeah, but that's why we went to war with Afghanistan.
We have bases in Afghanistan, right? But if you're talking about Pakistan, what did we do? We go and strategically kill those people.
I just use that as an example of a different principle that is something other than self-defense.
Well, what do you? I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Okay, what is a principle?
A principle is something you believe, your values, what you stand on, how you live your life, how you decide what you want to do, and how you want to live your life, and how you want to be perceived is your principles. And I think everyone should have principles. You should stand on your principles no matter what. And even if it's unpopular, you should stand on your principles.
Let me give you a simple definition, see if we can agree. A principle is a general rule that it applies generally to a lot of situations, that you use to guide your actions or your thinking. So the principle tells you, in this kind of situation, if they've harbored terrorists that have attacked us, we should go to war. Or
I mean, declaration of war is a huge thing.
that's
right?
what we're
And
talking
yeah,
about. That was the whole point. I mean, the
think
question is, I'm asking you, do you have a principle that permits you, in your mind, to think, in this case, I think we should go to war? Or, in this case, I think we shouldn't go to war. That's what I'm asking. Do you have such a principle?
Yeah, I do.
Well, what is the rule? The rule.
If you attack us, if you are harboring people, like you said, right? And we've asked you to stop, and we've brought it to your attention. I mean, there comes a certain point, right? You try to negotiate, you try to do all this, and if the negotiations break down, right? Think about Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, right? They are attacked daily.
Right.
Right? And you're telling me that he doesn't have the right to defend himself?
Of course he has the right to defend himself. And he should try to prevent those terrorists from attacking him. So your principle is self-defense if you're attacked or an imminent threat of attack, which is the same kind of situation, or if they are harboring terrorists that have attacked us, we should go to war with them.
Yeah, but I don't, because of our technology, right? War is not war anymore, right? It's not like World War II.
Well, I'm just talking about military war.
You're trying to quantify something you cannot quantify.
War is
right?
not war. What is it? What is war now?
Okay, so war now is fought by. So if we're gonna go bomb Iran or not Iran, but Iraq and stuff like that, it's being done from Nevada. It's being done by drones.
So,
right. So
what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is in World War II, we had to put people on U-boats and bring them over and ship them to
it's safer
places.
now. Good, great.
No, it's safer. It's not safer.
No? Well, if they're in Nevada, they're hard to be attacked, right?
Okay, so we're not having physical troops on the ground, right? But now we have to worry about our own homeland. I have to be worried that radical Islamic terrorists are in this country that are going to hurt innocent Americans, and it's happened over and over and over again. And we had a president for 8 years who supported it.
Okay,
right?
so
He's having the Muslim Brotherhood over to the White House for dinner. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
5 times.
Well, I don't agree with his support for the Muslim Brotherhood, obviously. So if your principle is if we're attacked or there's imminent threat of attack or if they harbor terrorists that have attacked us, we should go to war, are you in favor of going to war with Pakistan?
If they continue.
Well, they did. They harbored bin Laden.
Hold on. Right, you asked me a question, so let me finish, okay?
Good point.
Thank you. So, if President Trump goes to them and says X, Y, and Z, if you don't stop, right, if you do not stop harboring terrorism, if you do not stop supporting state-run terrorism, right, we're going to have some issues, right?
Issues?
So, yeah, issues.
War is what I'm talking about, not issues.